at the analyst desk.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. What a great game. We do have a series on our hands. Reason Gaming completely outplaying Giants at nearly every turn. Let's start with the obvious. Now we know why Kallista's been banned in the previous games. And let's talk about that early game and just how Celavar was able to snowball that lead from the lane swap. Maybe Sheepy, care to chime in?
Yeah, I think that the Kallista just came out really huge. We saw the early invade, and it worked out really, really well. And I think that just the 3-0 early lead by Reason Gaming set them up for a really fantastic game. Kallista just kept them snowballing. The Thresh pick came out huge, hitting like so many hooks.
So many hooks, but again, that Kallista, I want to kind of draw back to our regular season because Kallista was a champion that we saw Celavar play a couple of times, 2-2 in the regular season. But Celavar's KDA has been particularly better on Kallista than a lot of other champions. Only really Tristana played out better for him. So not surprising to see it work to that good of an effect coming out when it's been available. Now I think Giants are probably going to say, oh, let's not do that one again. Let's ban that in the next game.
And interesting to see at Giants with Werlib going back to Hecarim, the champion that helped them win 2 games in week 9, I believe it was. Now not working out in their favor. Werlib, yes, he was punished. Yes, he got, caught out by so many of those hooks by Libic over and over. Let's talk about the mid game. Reason they got a lead. They had very strong carries. And then they got an early Baron. Do you feel the mid game was strong or not? Because it kind of took 10 or 12 minutes to actually close the game out after that first Baron was secured.
I think they should have been more decisive. They let a lot of space for Giants to actually come back into the game. And I think that if they close it out smoother, especially with the power spike they have with Thresh, Kallista, go onto a lane, let Shyvana split push, make sure that you have the TP if they want to engage on you, and just snowball out the game from there.
It's a very weird situation because while maybe they weren't so decisive on a lot of their calls when it came to objectives, one of the things I really liked out of Reason actually was they started to be decisive on how to shut down Hecarim further. You saw the ward in the middle of the lane and then just combo off it. As soon as Hecarim passed it up on the top side, passes the ward, they're expecting him hook, Gragas gank. That was decisive out of Reason. That was very good out of Reason to know where the weakness is and shut it down.
Yeah, and I think this actually shows that another strong pick that comes out in the series is the Shyvana. Doing twice really, really well, was up, I think, 20, 30, 40 CS. Split pushing, and honestly, I think the only time that we actually saw that it was a drawback was when the Hecarim came in with the TP play.
Yeah, the Hecarims have kind of been a little bit lackluster this series, and specifically to talk about CS. So Werlib, after being up so much in CS games 1 and 2, this time at 10 minutes, 33 CS down in his lane. So Kuban, on the other hand, just sat in a 1v2.
I think the fact that he'd been killed 3 times by a Kallista Thresh may have affected his CSing. I do want to go back to the teleport Hecarim plays because it is in fact our replay. And I think the over-aggressive start, or the good aggressive start for Reason, could have come back to bite them just a little bit. So this is basically the story of the game. A death sentence leads to Celavar getting damage, and then all of a sudden we're going to see a Werlib teleport in a moment or two. Talk me through this tower dive, Sheepy.
You see again what I said before. They have a really good setup and they can close it out really nicely, but then at this point they just give too much opportunity. Thresh flashes out with the Lantern, wanting to disengage, but Xayah goes all the way. Libic misses the hook and it's like a 1v1 with tower DPS on the Gragas. And they lose so much HP and DPS, and being so low, Hecarim TPs in exactly what the Hecarim should do at this point. Get an easy double kill here. And yeah, Kallista goes out unscathed and going into the jungle, where they actually have a 2v2 play here. Pepinero, Celavar, really nice Kallista mechanics, just jumping around, dodging as much stuff as possible.
And in contrast to game 1, where Pepinero was a game changer on an assassin, I think you can see his uncomfort. His lack of comfort is a much better way of saying it, on that Corki, I think, just getting outplayed. So 2-1 now to Reason Gaming. They pick up a win while on the red side. Reason now going into game 4 with some confidence, with some momentum on the side. We have to expect the Kallista ban away. What else can Reason Gaming hope for? Because, Sheep, you were talking Thresh, Shyvana, Stress, maybe. What are your thoughts for Reason going into game 4?
So Reason on game 4, now they're on red side again. I guess, they're on blue side. So I probably would stray away from the Hecarim, pick up something like the Gragas again. It worked out very well for Reason in that. Look to first pick it. Werlib, if you give him Hecarim, we've just seen, not so great at the beginning. Yes, he starts getting back into it. I think that has to be kind of where you look for Reason here.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Graga's pickup could be huge. We saw like Shyvana coming out really huge, but also the Gragas pick was something that just had
Well,
impact.
for a team that has just won a game, that looks like a concerned face to me. I mean, that's Reason Gaming now talking backstage. Veggie, their coach there in the blue shirt, and the mountain of a man just played Thresh. That is, of course, Libic, for any of our viewers who may not know. Arguably the biggest support player in the world. I don't have that verified, but I mean, that's not the look of a team who's just won a game and kept their chances alive. You're a coach here.
Yeah.
If those were your players, what would you be saying? What is Veggie saying to Reason Gaming?
I would get them to the edge of the play because they just did a really good job. They went 3-0, they had a lead, and they closed it out. Not in the finest manner, but they did it. So you should claw back on there, say, what did you do positive? Like, where did you see the advantages and where did you snowball them? And then just motivate the player to play towards their strengths.
Now, what about the other side, Giants, who might be struggling, or care to chime in on Reason?
I think realistically, you have to still be somewhat reserved, regardless of whether you just won the game, regardless of whether you're 2 games up. Again, this is a series to determine who's going into the LCS. You don't want to be like, yes, we won a game, sweet, we're nearly there, and then be overconfident.
But you shouldn't be like,
yeah,
you know, you just won a game that was kind of lucky. Let's go into the next one. You should really
happy medium. Nice,
happy medium.
Composed. That's what you ideally want, but emotions run wild in games like this.
Yeah.
And we'll find out whether or not those emotions will be controlled as we are going to get into Game 4 shortly. But for now, Reason is still on the ropes. They need to take the next game to just stay alive, and then the next game if they want that seat in the LCS. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with this battle between Poland and Spain.
Wants Zayu to be the one tanky, but it's actually going to go over to Fresh. Gets the body slam and the drunken rage. Actually doesn't quite have the damage, but he will flash away. Is it going to be enough? Can he get in range? He moves on to take fun. Kind of just knocks him away from the rest of the team. Finally uses his ultimate onto Lipic, and Zayu picks up the first one. Also with Frederick to assist. 2 versus the ward right now. Ryder will be blasted into the team. Baron is assisting with the damage as well. Oh, the hook onto Adri as well, followed by the Dragon's Descent. And this is now a 5 versus 4 underneath the turret, but the turret doesn't even matter that it's there. And they will be coming back in this series with a win. Now 2-1